So in Minnesota, at least, the weather is starting to get cooler. Mother Nature starting to remind us that winter is coming. So, things to do for your station to get ready for old man winter to rear his ugly head. And of course, this is more of a northern thing. This has nothing to do with those of you in the south, because you don't get snow. You don't get buried in snow for very long, at least. But here's some of the things I have heard recommended, and a couple things I do. Number one, I check for weathering on all my connections. Make sure the tape is in good condition. Make sure they're still nice and sealed up. That way, I know that they are waterproof and ready to go. Sorry, I'm yawning all the time. Also, as much of your coax as you can, check for weathering. Check for cracking, things like that happen just from age, to make sure there's no open spots, no leaks, no places where snow can start to build up and then melt and get inside your coax. Coax plus water is bad news. Check your antenna connections. Make sure those are good. Make sure that everything is set and ready to go. Make sure everything's secured properly so you don't have antennas fall down in winter or anything like that. Sorry, I'm yawning apparently here at lunch here. Put up any bigger antennas that you might use all winter. For instance, I hear a lot of people talk about putting up a 160 meter antenna in fall some point so that they can get out on the 160 meter band. They don't want to leave 250 some feet of wire up all year long, which is respectable. I don't blame them for that. So that's your time to put up your winter antennas, I'll call them, because 160 meters is fairly decent all winter long. Summer gets to be pretty difficult with storms and stuff, but winter seems to be pretty decent. General maintenance, things like that you might want to do before snow flies, things like that. Make sure nothing gets in your way of snow blowers, snow shoveling, things like that. This is your time to make sure that you are ready so you have no accidents, nothing falling down during the winter, and especially, it can get down to 20 below for a high once in a while here in Minnesota. I don't want to be maintaining my antennas at that temperature. I will say, screw it, I'm not going to get on until spring, because me and cold don't mix very well, even though I do live in Minnesota, grew up in Minnesota, etc. Any other tips that you have that I may not have mentioned so far, other pro tips? I have not needed to do any of this stuff yet. I do look at it as I walk by, things like that, but I haven't specifically gone out of my way to do these tasks as of right now. Most of my antennas have not been up very long, so coax is still in good repair, etc. Plus, they're on the north side of the house, which, at least up here, the sun does not beat on that part of the house ever. So, they're not seeing the sun's not being on it, with the exception of some of the coax that's sitting on the roof. So, what are your pro tips? What do you have? What do you suggest? Put in the comments below, and we'll add it to our repertoire. 7-3.